Well, here it is. It's April the 5th, 2023, and we've had good weather all the way through March up until now. And then I checked the forecast, and the forecast was saying that there was going to be a freeze tonight. It was going to get down to 30 or maybe even below that. So I had to think fast. I wasn't sure what to do. Cover them with the tarp, something, I don't know. But I realized that I had some tile, to use. So I covered them with ceramic tile. These buckets are 12-inch diameter, and the tile covered them perfectly. So I ended up covering everything up with tile, and for the bigger pots I even used pizza box bottoms to cover the bigger flower pots. So the buckets stayed outside. I couldn't bring them inside, and what happened was it got really cold, and the plants that I thought could take it, such as the kale and the onions and some of the other plants I had, they did okay. But I was concerned about the spinach and the Swiss chard and my tomatoes. And what I did with those is, again, I said I covered them with a pizza box and tile to keep it from blowing away, because we had really high winds just before this storm blew in, probably 30, 40, 50 mile an hour gust, and I knew the cardboard wouldn't stay there. But we brought the little trays inside and put them near the window, and I knew they would be okay, but I was concerned about the plants that were outside. And anyhow, as you can see, this is after the big freeze. The low tonight's going to be down to 40, and the plants made it through just fine. Took some work on my end, and you're looking at well, that's going to be zinnias when it comes up, and that's the spring mix. And I just was beside myself that it could get so cold so quick. And we're supposed to have temperatures in the 90s in a couple of days, and this is in southern New Mexico, which is kind of weird. The chives and the onions, they made it through the winter, so I didn't have any problem with those, but I was concerned about the spinach and some of the others. I also planted some zucchini, and it hasn't come up yet, but the kale is getting ready to bloom. My wife and I are debating what color the blooms will be. I say yellow, and she says white, and well, maybe they'll turn out purple. There's my well, it looks like little tomatoes, but I'm not sure. I have to get on there and look at the stick. Now, yeah, those are my heirloom tomatoes. That's definitely the heirloom tomatoes, and I'm really happy with those. They're doing well. The pepper plants, I didn't want them to freeze either. Those were brought inside. But I put chicken wire cages over all these plants because I like to feed the birds too. I do feed the birds, as a matter of fact. I'm hoping they come around and eat the insects and all. Here's a plant that I thought would make it without any coverage whatsoever. And this plant's a morning glory. We have several seeds in here, but they haven't sprouted yet. And I was looking, checking, make sure I had enough seed for these birds, and I see that they're out of seed, so I'm going to put some seed in it. I checked the ground to see if there was a lot of seed on the ground. It looked pretty clean, so they are eating it. And then I hear this crazy grackle. These crazy grackles up in this tree screaming at me, and I'm trying to hunt it down. I want to see the grackle. So I'm looking around for the grackle, and he's well hidden. He's well hidden. I'm underneath this old pine tree that we planted about, oh, it must be at least 30 years old. It was a Christmas tree at one time. So, but it's grown really well. It's an Afghan pine. with a grackle in it. Okay, and I can hear him, but I can't see him. So I'm going to have to try and find a different angle. This bird's trying to hide from me for sure. So I walked over here to the oleander and got over here in the shade because I thought my camera would take a better picture. And I'm looking up into this tree and I'm hearing the grackle, and I can actually see the grackle up there. He's perched up top there. It's kind of hard to see, but he's there. He's there. He's right up there, crowing and carrying on, trying to call a mate. But there won't be much left of this kale. I think it's just about had it for the season. But it was a pretty kale. I meant to grow a different kind of kale, the green wrinkly leaf kale that you see in the supermarket, but there were no seeds for it. Last year there was a shortage of seeds. I guess the Walmart seeds got wet, they wouldn't sell them. So anyhow, I had to settle with what I could get, and thank you for watching.